Good afternoon, Macaque City. You're listening to Radio Skyline, your place to keep pace with everything in town and beyond. Joining me in the studio is Myra.
Hello, Myra.
And you heard right, our little town of Macaque has recently grown large enough to be classified as a city.
We're right on the borderline, so if any of you dies before the next census, you've screwed it up for all of us.
Our local politicians, Don Albo and Sabrina Wadford, are taking credit, as usual. And that's relevant because we have even bigger news for the future of the area.
We're getting affordable health care.
That...
If they
someone's heart probably leaped for joy, and now
someone believed for even a second, then you deserve to have your hope shattered. There is no Santa. You don't deserve nice things.
Whoever you are.
Whoever you are. You know what you did.
Well, at any rate, the corporate leviathan known as Oligopomart has recently announced they're thinking about relocating their headquarters, and they've invited any city in the country to make a bid for their residency. And since Macaque City is now, as we've established, a city, Don and Sabrina have put together a list of truly fascinating offers.
I was reading this list before the show, and I wasn't even aware a city can do a lot of these things. I think
there's federal laws about some of it, and there were some state laws, but the state politicians also got in on it, so...
And before anyone asks, no, there will not be a tax benefit for us. Article 1 at the very top of these offers establishes that Oligopomart will be taxed neither by the city nor the state.
Yeah, but that's pretty normal for these types of things. Whenever a big company like this offers to move these days, it's like 15% of the world's economy coming to your state. I'm not sure where the benefits will come in for Macaque City on the whole, but it appears that there is a written promise to invest personal funds into the company to the extent of joining the board of directors.
Are they investing? What do you mean? Oh, okay, our politicians. What's Sabrina saying about this? She's on the left, right? That's supposed to be...
Well, that is what Sabrina said. She wants to join their board of directors, so she's going to invest her money in their company if they move. But Don said the same thing, except he mentioned Jesus and he denounced communism.
Good. That's why my cousin Derek votes for that guy. It's all the difference.
Yeah, so that's what our politicians get out of it. There is already a protest group that's locked hands and has been blocking traffic, which is why it was so hard to get into work today.
Thanks, guys.
They say they're raising awareness.
We're raising awareness. Those assholes are just blocking traffic.
Well, not everyone has access to a radio program, and I suppose a Twitter hashtag doesn't have the same visceral feel as being threatened by a soccer mom in a minivan, so...
I don't even understand blocking traffic as a form of protest. Do you know what you see when you're stuck in traffic? The back of another car. I assume there was a car accident, or a bunch of cattle got loose in the streets again. The only people who were aware of the protest were the first 4 cars in the jam.
It is a legal demonstration. Apparently they have a permit, but we don't want to get too bogged down in the protest because the terms of these promises are absolutely crazy and we want to read them to you. But first, we're going to traffic with Peyton.
Hello.
Hey, Peyton, what can you tell us about traffic today?
Okay, yes, well, you completely took the wind out of my sails. I was going to talk about the protest, yes, it seemed like interesting traffic-worthy, but then you used your time to report my thing, yes.
Well... is there anything you want to add?
That you are a dick, yes?
I mean about traffic, or the protest.
I don't know, yes. It's like man versus car. Man loses because he has the significant weight disadvantage, yes. And once the first car pushed through the picket line, everyone else has just been carefully driving through it ever since. The protesters are throwing soda and cups of water at the cars as they go by, yes? Which I guess cancel each other out. And there are the numerous curse words you told me I cannot say on radio.
That's correct. Don't repeat those.
I don't even think most of these people are from here, yes. They do the protest in shifts, and I see a lot of them going back to hotels.
I suppose if it was from someone in town, they'd just get the cattle loose again. I mean, heck, cattle would be better. They'd just naturally stand around being in the way, and they don't even need to take breaks from it. Out-of-towners are stupid.
Do you have any idea where they're from?
I don't know. I don't want to talk to them. They're weird, yes.
All right, thanks, Peyton. That's the traffic news. People of Macaque, keep an eye on the roads and try not to hit anybody. And now for a commercial.
Are you ready for back to school? Oligopomart has you smothered. Whether by brick and mortar or online shopping, we're the only place in your area with prices low enough to obliterate the economy. We've absolutely flooded the market with pencils, notebooks, backpacks, and everything your child needs to get through the period of life before they work at our facilities. Worried about your teachers? They're enslaved to us part-time, so come on by and say hello to your future math teacher. Parents! Wondering what you're going to do while the kids are away at school? We're accepting applications for your subservience now! And if you're the passive stay-at-home type, We have enough beer and spirits to dominate the liquor market for a 5-year plan. We've also got our own streaming service, so you can enjoy your bread and circus from within our walled garden. So what are you waiting for? Come to Oligopomart before we come for you.
Oligopomart. It's nice to see they still feel the need to advertise.
Is it weird they still have a DVD section? I feel like that's weird.
Well, speaking of weird, we got this list of everything that Don and Sabrina promised to Oligopomart, and I just want to highlight this one. In the spirit of online commerce, Macaque City promises to crowdsource risk. Oligopomart shall hereby not be prosecuted for any city nor state ordinances so long as they maintain the provisions of safe harbor as outlined below. Then there's a bunch of legal stuff, and one of the requirements is that they have to keep a fax machine.
What do they mean, crowdsource risk?
Okay, so, you know how online people can post pornography or footage from a dog fighting ring or bootleg cartoons of Peppa Pig? Well, it's like that, but instead of online, it's at any physical Oligopomart location.
So, what? People in our city can sell Chinese knockoff action figures at our Oligopomart stores?
Basically, if I'm reading this right, yes. And Oligopomart can take a cut of the profits. The catch is, if somebody with the legal authority to stop it asks them to stop, Oligopomart has to, but then Oligopomart itself can't be held liable or sued in court.
So, if they were running a brothel...
if they were running a brothel, they would arrest the girls, but Oligopomart would be fine even if they were profiting from it.
This is how the internet works?
It is a core principle of the modern online economy.
Jeez, I gotta get on board with these people.
Well, I mean, it's no good for you, because if you're on the ground level, then they can come after you. It's the higher levels of the company that are safe. The argument being that there are too many Oligopomart employees and no way to police an infrastructure that large.
Dang it, why is it always the ground levels that get shafted? I can't climb a ladder. I've got arthritis and my knees are killing me.
Well, you climbed the ladder at our station.
Don't kid yourself, Hugh. This station has only got one ground level.
Additionally, we'll be renaming the city. Starting next week, we will be Oligopomart.
As in, the city.
The city is named Oligopomart.
The city is named Oligopomart. Okay. Yes, and this is coming regardless.
It is, and will last for 2 weeks, and in that time, we'll probably screw up the mail service.
Why is it happening regardless?
Okay, so hear me out. I detect, potentially, a small stroke of genius.
Genius in who? Don and Sabrina? That is the last word I would use to describe them.
Okay, maybe. Or we could describe this to people working for Don and Sabrina. But this happens every time a major corporation wants to relocate. I mean, these are stupid and in no way benefit the public, but let's be real, Oligopomart isn't gonna move to our little city. I'm skeptical they're even gonna move at all.
So you're saying they're just dicking us around for the free advertising?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way that mass communication is these days. Rename your company to something stupid, insult people on Twitter from your brand account, or briefly rename your city after a corporation. Nobody has ever heard of Macaque City before, but now we're going to be in the national news.
Yeah, but as the dumbest city in the nation.
As the dumbest city in the nation. I used to have a friend who'd say that if you're going to run a race, you should either come in first or record-breaking last, because that's the only way you're ever going to be remembered.
Well, we certainly aren't going to come out in first place.
Just look at all the tourism. The protesters aren't even from here, so they're bolstering the local economy, right?
Well, they may also be arguably dragging it down due to the traffic jams.
Well, there's probably some kind of math equation you could do on it, but that's outside our depth.
If you want to seriously weigh whatever pros and cons there are to this thing, we were outside of our depth before we opened our mouths. I don't even know why you want to tackle issues like this, Hugh. I'd rather gossip about you and Frisky Fran.
Well, okay, if you want to get into more personal stuff, here in these documents is a promise to change the state anthem to the Oligopomart theme song, and that you, Myra, will sing the song on local radio.
What?
Yep.
Give me that!
Don and Sabrina remembered you!
Good lord! God, it says it right here!
Did they ask you?
Did they? No! I would have said no. I not even would have thought about it. I can't sing.
Well, they are co-owners of the station, so, I think if you don't go along with it, you might be fired.
Hell, I'll jump out the window. There'd be fire in a corpse. Why didn't they say you'd sing it?
I asked our studio head, Bob, and he said I'm too whiny.
Too whine? I whine more than you do. I don't even think I've ever said a happy thing in my life.
Yeah, but, I guess it doesn't come across that way, because the way you say it is fun. And, anyway, you can think about that while we go to a commercial. Yo, this is Slick Sam, the man of 1,000 essential oils, and also of several hundred non-oils apparently. I've recently been slapped with a false advertising lawsuit, and if you thought you were buying an oil for me when you weren't, then I am sorry, because I also thought you were buying an oil. But all that is why I'm getting as far away from liquid products as possible, and have now become Slick Sam's Lawn and Garden. That's right, I was growing a bunch of plants with the intent to smash them up into a pulpy mess, and now that I can't do that, I'm ready to sell the plants direct to you. I got everything you need to start your own home garden. Seeds, gardening tools, even fully grown plants. I have tomatoes ripe with fluids that I am legally obligated to tell you I don't know precisely what they are. Green beans strung up along tasteful planks of wood that I've nailed into a pot. And if you're quick, I dug up the parking lot and planted a bunch of orange trees. The city says I couldn't do that, so I'm having a fire sale on orange trees. In fact, if you buy an orange tree within an hour of hearing this message, I'll throw in a free carton of something I squeezed out of a bunch of oranges. I legally cannot tell you what it is, but I can legally tell you that I think it's delicious. Bring your own truck or just a lot of durable twine, and I'll help you load it all up and get it out of here before anyone can ask any questions. And speaking of fire sales, on the evening of the bonfire, I'll be selling s'mores, hot dogs, and apple cider. That's right, any tree I don't sell is going into a fire, and we're making a party of it. We got drinks for adults and fun for the kids. My neighbor Tony's gonna dress up as a clown, and he does this amazing thing with the summer squash. You won't wanna miss it. Come down anytime. That's Slick Sam's. I'll be nervously checking through the blinds for the cops. Slick Sam's. I'm definitely going to that thing. They're gonna shut it down. I don't know. I mean, the city sometimes makes allowances for Sam. You know, he projects his intentions far enough, it's practically like he's asking for a permit. I bet the fire warden already came by. It is amazing how fast he gets together the regulations. I don't know if he's got a lawyer in the family or what, but the oils thing is the first I've ever heard of him getting sued, and that is surprising to me. I bet they snuck up on him with that one, you know? Or else, you think he would have changed his advertising? I mean, Sam is known to be wrong, but he has never lied. The only advertiser we never bash. That's why we're broke. And speaking of, it's time to wrap things up. For the record, and in conclusion, we don't expect to be the headquarters for Oligopomart, but it's interesting, I guess. That's right, and hopefully none of us will have to jump out any windows. Thanks for tuning in to Radio Skyline. Shoot for the skies.